What if every smile, every touch, was just part of the scam? In a world full of cons, trust is the ultimate illusion. And one mistake, just one, can cost you everything. This is Focus, 2015, where love, lies, and millions of dollars collide in a game only the sharpest survive. Stay focused, because in this story, you're being played. And the story begins with a man named Nicky. He was eating at a hotel when a girl came and sat next to him. She told Nicky that the old man in front of her was bothering her. She said, "Since I came here, he thinks I'm alone and keeps disturbing me." She requested Nicky to pretend to be her friend for a while, so the man would feel she was not alone and would stop bothering her. Nicky agreed to help her. The girl's name was Jess, but after that, Jess started looking at Nicky in a strange way. She asked, "Are you a serial killer? Why are you staring at me like that?" Nicky replied, "I can't say anything. It depends on what the other person thinks of me. I become the person they believe I am." They talked for a long time and became friends. Then they went to a room to spend more time together. But suddenly, a man opened the door and entered. He pointed a gun at them and threatened to kill Nicky. Jess quickly said, "He's my husband. He's a very crazy man. He has killed many people before. And now he will kill you too." But Nicky was not scared. He calmly said, "Please kill me. I have cancer anyway. I'm going to die, so go ahead." Actually, Nicky was trying to provoke him. But even after Nicky's words, the man didn't shoot. So Nicky stood up. Suddenly, Jess shouted, "You stupid man! He doesn't have cancer! He has figured out our plan!" Yes, it was all a plan made by Jess and her partner to trap Nicky. They used to scare people, fool them, and rob them. But this time, their plan failed. Because this time, they messed with a bigger thief than themselves. Nicky had understood their plan. He was also a skilled and clever thief. He quietly left the room. When Jess was leaving the hotel room, Nicky also started walking with her. He offered her a drink. Jess was impressed with him, so she accepted his offer. They both went to a bar and started drinking. Jess asked him about the skills of stealing. Nicky told her, "The most important thing in this game of stealing is focus. We must give full attention to one task. A person cannot do many things at once, because then things go wrong. It's important to focus completely." Then Nicky showed her how it works. He stole Jess's watch and purse without her noticing. He said, "I was able to steal your things because your focus was on me, and my focus was on you." Jess was surprised and impressed. The next day, she met Nicky again. She was very serious about joining him. Nicky agreed to teach her how his team works. He was not alone. He had a whole team of thieves. Jess joined the team. They went to a crowded place. Nicky was watching them from the balcony. One of his team members explained the plan to Jess. Then they started working. Everyone was surprised to see Jess's skills. Even Nicky's friends were happy. Nicky thought Jess was foolish, but she turned out to be very smart. Later, Nicky showed Jess the place where all the stolen goods were kept. There were many expensive things there. Jess liked one necklace. She picked it up and tried to wear it, but Nicky told her to put it back. He explained, "We are not rich yet. We only have enough money to survive. We can't afford to buy such things. We need to plan bigger thefts first." Then Nicky gave Jess the key to a hotel room. He said, "We will work together for a long time, so I've bought a room for you here." Jess wanted to come with him, but Nicky refused and said, "No, I'm busy now." So now Jess comes to the hotel alone with the car. When she was in the room, she was thinking about Nicky. It felt like she was starting to like him. Then the doorbell rang. When Jess opened the door, there was no one else. It was Nicky. He couldn't stop himself. They both started spending time together. The next day, Jess was talking to a man who was Nikki's friend. He had been working with Nikki for a long time. While they were talking, Nikki's friend started having a headache and screamed in pain. Actually, this was all part of Nikki and his team's plan. People around them got scared seeing his condition, and when everyone's focus shifted to him, Nikki's team began executing their plan. They started stealing valuables from the people around. After a while, Nikki came in an ambulance, picked up his friend and Jess, and left the place. That night, Nikki and all his friends were partying and celebrating. Everyone was very happy. Nikki told them, "This time, we've hit a big target, $1.2 million. One of his friends handed all the money to Nikki and said, "It's your responsibility to handle this money. And yes, stay away from gambling." The next day, Nikki and Jess went to a stadium to watch a match. When a girl got up from her seat and walked away, Jess made a bet with Nikki that 8 people would watch her go. Nikki said, "No, only 3 people will watch her." A rich man sitting behind them joined in and said, "I think 5 people will watch." But only 7 people looked at her. Jess's guess was close, so she won the bet. Now Nikki started betting on the players on the field, encouraged by the rich man. But Nikki lost 2 bets in a row. Then Nikki made a new bet of $10,000. He told the rich man, "Whoever tries to catch the next ball will drop it." The rich man disagreed. He said the catch would be taken. Soon a player threw the ball, and the catch was taken. Nikki lost again. So far, Nikki had lost over $5,000 to that rich man. Jess became worried. She asked Nikki to leave, but Nikki was angry and wanted to keep betting. This time, he wanted to bet all $1.2 million. He challenged the rich man to a card bet for $1.2 million. They both went to a casino. Nikki put all the money on the table. Jess was very worried and tried to stop him, but Nikki didn't listen and started the game. The rich man, who also had a lot of money, accepted the challenge. But unfortunately, Nikki lost $1.2 million. That money also included his friend's share. Now that everything was lost, Jess became even more worried. Nikki quietly started walking away. The rich man mocked him and said, "If you play with a big player, this is what happens." Hearing this, Nikki got angry. He also remembered something. He walked back toward the rich man and said, "Now I want to make a double bet, $2.2 million. The shocking thing was, Nikki didn't even have any money. Still, he insisted on betting. Nikki told the rich man, "You're watching the match. Pick any one player in your mind. I'll guess who you're thinking of." But the rich man refused. He said, "I don't trust you." Then Nikki said, "I won't tell you. My friend Jess will guess the player." Nikki acted so confident that the rich man finally agreed. Jess was still trying to stop Nikki. The rich man had already noted the number of a player in the stadium. Now he asked Jess to guess which player he was thinking of. Nikki told Jess to go out and just look at the players. He said, "Just focus and tell me who it is." Jess started looking at the players through binoculars, but she couldn't figure it out. Meanwhile, the rich man tells Nikki, "If you want, you can still take this bet back." But Nikki refuses because he wanted to take this risk. After a while, Jess is shocked to see the player. Nikki's friend was also playing there, wearing a t-shirt with number 55. Jess says without hesitation that number 55 is the player the rich man thought of. The rich man starts laughing loudly. He says, "Well done. Wow, you guessed right. You've won the bet." Yes, number 55 was the player. Jess is also surprised. She can't believe that Nikki has just won $2.2 million. Now both of them take the money and leave. In the car, Jess gets angry at Nikki. She starts hitting him and says, You didn't even tell me your plan. How did you win such a big amount? A little while ago, it seemed you had lost all the money in anger. Now tell me the truth. How did you win the bet? Then Nikki explains, the rich man has a lot of money. He is a big-time gambler. He's not new to betting. Jess asks, but how did you know he would choose number 55? How did you take such a big risk? Nikki replies, I had been planting something in your mind and in the rich man's mind for a long time. Now the story goes a little back in time. Nikki's man had been watching the rich man for a long time. He used different tricks to put number 55 in the rich man's mind. Everywhere he went, he saw number 55 on banners, signs, and people. Even the player today, Nikki's friend, wore number 55. So, the number naturally came into the rich man's mind during the bet. Jess is happy to hear all this. She is once again impressed. Nikki tells her, you did a great job. He gives Jess her share of the money and leaves. Jess tries hard to stop him, but he doesn't listen. Jess starts crying because she really liked Nikki. She feels very bad seeing him leave suddenly. Now the story jumps ahead to 3 years later. Nikki plans to rob another rich man named Gary. Gary loves collecting toy cars, but he needs a good mechanic to repair them. So Nikki goes to meet Gary, pretending to be a mechanic. As Nikki leaves, Gary's guard says, be careful with this man. I don't trust him. In the evening, Nikki comes to a party where Gary had invited him. Jess is also at the party. She's close to Gary. Seeing them together, Nikki feels bad. He walks out of the party. He is standing alone when Jess comes to him. She says, yes, I've made a relationship with him. But he doesn't know anything about my past, so please don't mention anything in front of him. Nikki goes back to the party and drinks a lot. He can't bear seeing Jess with someone else. Already angry and drunk, Nikki hits Gary in the face. Seeing this, Gary's guard throws him out of the party, but Gary doesn't fire him. He forgives Nikki, knowing he did it under the influence of alcohol. The next day, Gary's manager is explaining Nikki's work near the pool. Gary is also there. Seeing Jess and Gary together again, Nikki gets jealous. After meeting the manager, he goes to Jess and tells her, you shouldn't wear such clothes here. People are looking at you in a strange way, and I don't like it. But Jess ignores him and leaves. The next day, Nikki and Jess meet at a different place. Jess asks him about the dinner they were supposed to have 3 years ago. She wants to know why he left her that night. Nikki tries to explain and convince her, but she doesn't listen because she's angry. So Nikki tries to reach her through her friend, who had become close to Jess too. He sends her the same necklace she had liked at the place of the theft. Jess agrees to meet Nikki on her friend's request. When they meet, Jess understands from Nikki's words that he wants to be with her again. But Jess refuses. She says, I can't trust you this time. Saying this, she leaves. When Nikki returns to the hotel, sad and heartbroken, Jess is already sitting at his door. The truth is, she still likes him. She couldn't stop herself from coming. Now the two go inside the room and start spending time together again. The next morning, without telling Gary, the guard comes to meet Nikki. He knocks on the door, so Nikki quickly goes and opens it. Now the guard is suspicious of Nikki. He feels there is someone else inside the room with Nikki. That's why he enters and starts searching the room, but he finds no one. Jess had gone to the balcony and was hiding there to escape the guard. The next day, Gary's manager gives Nikki a lot of money for his work. Then we see Nikki transferring something onto his laptop. These were actually Gary's secret designs. After stealing these designs, Nikki sells them to Gary's clients at a cheaper price. Then Nikki takes all that money and makes a plan to escape with Jess. When they are leaving in 2 cars, one of Gary's men starts following them. He crashes his car into theirs, and both Nikki and Jess fall unconscious. When they wake up, they find themselves tied to chairs. Gary is standing in front of them. Actually, Gary already knew Nikki had come with the intention to rob him. That's why he had put his men behind Nikki from the start. They had been watching him day and night. But Gary still couldn't understand how Nikki got the password. He asks Nikki about this. Nikki replies, "When I saw you getting close to Jess, I also decided to get close to her. I sent her the necklace gift, but I had hidden a secret chip in it. When Jess came into your room and got close to your laptop, the chip got access to your computer. That's how I got your password. But Jess didn't know anything about this. I once again pretended to love her and fooled her." Hearing this, Gary and his guards start laughing loudly. Then Gary removes the tape from Jess's mouth. She also speaks up. "There was never any relationship between me and Gary. I also came here to rob him." But Gary had already found this out. When Jess came to Gary's party, she had seen Nikki there. So she started going to Gary's party on purpose. She thought Nikki was in a relationship, but there is nothing like that. Now Jess starts arguing with Nikki. "You're a liar. You never tell the truth. Because of you, we're about to die." But Nikki ignores her and starts telling another story to Gary. While Nikki is talking, Gary's guard shoots him. He says, "We don't want to hear another lie from you." Then the guard walks toward Jess to shoot her too. But Gary stops him and says, "I don't want a police mess here. Wait, and from now on, you'll handle this matter." Saying that, Gary leaves. Nikki is injured and starts losing his breath. The guard quickly moves forward. He takes out a pump and removes the bullet. He says, "The bullet didn't hit the heart. You'll survive. You'll recover soon." Now Jess finds out a shocking truth. Gary's guard is actually Nikki's father. He had just saved his son by removing the bullet. Then Jess's mother comes. She takes all the money and takes injured Nikki to the hospital. Jess was in the car, and during their conversation, she found out something shocking. Nikki had planned to rob Gary 3 years ago. Since then, her dad had been working as a guard for Gary, just to gain Gary's trust. With her dad's help, Jess found out Gary's password. This means that when Nikki said he used Jess to get the password, he was actually lying. It was Jess who had made it possible, not Nikki. Then, on Nikki's request, her dad shot him, because if he hadn't done that, Gary would have killed both of them in anger. Now they reach the hospital quickly. Jess and her dad don't let Nikki go inside. She had already been punished for what she had done, and because Jess was just like her, she forgave her and accepted her again. Now both of them decide to use their skills together again. They will continue to steal, but smartly, and live a better life together. Not only a better life, but a comfortable one, just as they had dreamed of. This was the dream of both Jess and Nikki. And with that, the story of this film ends here. This movie teaches us that life is not always about being the smartest thief. It's about knowing whom to trust and when to stop lying. Even the cleverest plans can fall apart when trust is broken. But when we own our mistakes, forgive others, and work together with honesty, life gives us a second chance, a chance to build something real, even from a world of lies. Because in the end, loyalty, love, and truth are the real treasures, more valuable than any amount of stolen money. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Movie Insight Studio, your favorite place for the most fascinating movie stories. See you in the next tale.